Greetings. A really quick video here, and this is going to be a little bit sloppy, but just wanted to discuss something really quick, and it's the phenomenon of unaccredited institutions within the Hebrew Israelite sphere. You see, Faithful to God has a video titled, from a couple of years ago, titled The Dubious Doctorate of Kelly Richardson, We Woke Now, which was about Kelly Richardson receiving a doctorate from Rehoboth International Bible College. And then just last night, Vocab Malone did a show titled #1 ranked Pseudo School, which is about the Hebrew Institute International. I think it was previously called the Hebrew Institute of Detroit, if I'm not mistaken. And I'll share links to both these videos in the video description. But what I wanted to discuss in this video very quickly is the doctorate possessed by Divine Prospect. And I thought this was interesting for those who don't know. He also has a doctorate of theology. And this is an Instagram post that he put up in June of 2021 about his doctorate. This is on the KingdomMoments Instagram page, and I'll share a link to this as well in the video description. But I just want to read the caption to you really quickly. It says, "Peace and shalom, family. Today is a milestone for Divine Prospect after receiving his doctorate in theology at his graduation ceremony." So apparently this picture is at his graduation ceremony. And so it says he accepted the offer to continue his education because the institute he enrolled in was accredited, owned, and operated by Hebrew Israelites. I thought that was interesting to say that it's accredited by Hebrew Israelites. That seems to line up with Rehoboth International Bible College and the Hebrew Institute International that Vocab discussed just last night. You know, both of those were unaccredited. I think the institute that Vocab looked at last night described itself as self-accredited, and that seems to be the same thing here. Whatever the case, this institution that Divine Prospect received his doctorate from is accredited by Hebrew Israelites, which seems to mean it's not accredited. Then it goes on to say, referring to Divine Prospect, it says he was selected to be the first recipient of their doctorate degree. So as of this post is from June of 2021, so at the time, Ron Shields was the only person to receive a doctorate from this particular school. And then it goes on to say, although he never asked for this title, he is submitted diligently to Psalm 75, 5-6, so he can use his degree to open up additional doors of opportunities for our community. He says, if he can do it, anyone can. Although he has taken some time away from social media to finish up his studies, he will be back with a vengeance, teaching and sharing content. Please join us in congratulating him. All praises to the Most High. And there he is with his degree. There's the first comment is an interesting one. It says, what's the name of this school? I couldn't make it out. So you may have noticed that's a good question, because in the text of the caption, the name of the school that gave him his doctorate is never mentioned. Nonetheless, his dissertation is on academia.edu, and I'll share a link to this as well in the video description. But I wanted to go over this really quickly. First things you might notice is that this is 4 pages long. However, it's a draft. Nonetheless, the title, it says THD, or Doctorate of Theology Dissertation, Why a Cultural Orientation of the Ancient Israelite People is Necessary for Proper Exegesis of the Hebrew Bible. And again, draft, hence why it's only 4 pages. So let's look at the text of that really quickly. And there's the title. Some might have questions about the capitalization in the title of his dissertation, but whatever the case, the title is Why a Cultural Orientation of the Ancient Israelite People is Necessary for Proper Exegesis of the Hebrew Bible by Ron Shields, right? A dissertation submitted in partial fulfillment in accordance with the requirements of the degree of Doctorate of Theology in the subject of theological studies at the redacted. He redacted the name of the institution. He blacked it out. But nonetheless, here's his declaration. I, Ronald Shields, hereby declare that this dissertation, Why Ancient Israelite Cultural Orientation is Necessary for Proper Exegesis of the Hebrew Bible, is submitted in accordance with the requirements of the Doctor of Theology degree at the, again, the name of the institution is redacted. It's blacked out. This is my own original work and has not previously been submitted to any other institution of higher learning. All sources cited and quoted in this research paper are indicated and acknowledged with a comprehensive list of references. Ron Shields, 31st of May, 2021. And then we get on the next page, we get the abstract. I guess I'll read through this. It says, most exegesis of the Hebrew Bible in many seminaries today have been in the realm of applicable theology. I guess it should be has, because exegesis is technically singular. Maybe that's a minor point, but whatever the case, most exegesis of the Hebrew Bible in many seminaries today have been in the realm of applicable theology, with the inclusion of its with an apostrophe. Really quickly, its with an apostrophe is it is. But when you're saying it's ancient Near Eastern context, you don't use the apostrophe. But whatever the case, with the inclusion of its ancient Near Eastern context only sought as a byproduct of those studies, my proposal is that this approach does an injustice in comprehending the text the way that the author intended for his immediate recipient audience to understand. Utilizing a top-down exegetical model popular in many seminaries with a high theological view, there is rarely any consideration that the Hebrew Bible was not written to a 21st century audience. Due to this disconnect, the modern reader is left to eisegete the text using their contemporary presuppositions. Without a proper cultural orientation of the ancient Israelite people, an accurate exegesis is continually left wanting and causes its, again, with an apostrophe that doesn't belong there, and causes its intended application to fall short. Therefore, my objective is to showcase the need for a novel approach in translating and interpreting the Hebrew Bible for the modern reader by shedding light on the inclusion of the cultural dynamics of these ancient Israelite peoples against the ancient Near Eastern context they emerge from. And then he has the key terms. Okay, so that's the abstract. Very interesting. And then when you go to the next page, the fourth page, it's blank. So you don't have anything else from this dissertation. Like I said, just 4 pages. It was a draft written in May of 2021, but he received his doctorate by June of the following year. So the doctorate, the dissertation was apparently in a draft stage in May of 2021, but then he received his doctorate a month later, according to his Instagram post. So it's actually a week, because if you think about it, it's the Instagram post went up on the 7th of June, 2021, and this was in a draft stage on the 31st of May, 2021. So from the 31st of May to the 7th of June, that's actually only a week. But as for the text that he redacted, that's quite interesting. So I'd like to go back to his Instagram post, because he shows the degree. And if you look closely, it says, and forgive me if this is a bit blurry, but it says the Hebraic Institute of Theology. That's his degree there. That's quite interesting. So at least there you can see the name of the institute, the institution that gave him his doctorate, which he strangely didn't mention in the caption of his Instagram post, and which he redacted in the portion of his dissertation, the draft of his dissertation that he posted on academia.edu. But here's something that's interesting. If you hit Control F and do a search for that phrase, Hebraic Institute of Theology, there's 2 hits. That phrase appears twice on the page. So let's do a quick search for that phrase, the name of the institution. When you do so, both times it's located, the 2 instances of that phrase, Hebraic Institute of Theology, are located inside the blacked out text, the redacted text. I must say, I find that interesting. I'm not sure why he blacked out the name of the institution. It's an institution that I couldn't find any further information on. I'm not sure what to say, but I figured this was worth noting for the record. I certainly thought it was interesting. You can reach your own conclusions as to what to think about this, but I figured it was, like I said, interesting and worth noting. On that note, I look forward to any comments, questions, or criticisms, and God bless.